two things I wished. Money, money, money. I reckon best hitter there ever was and all that stuff. As that fallen star was coming down. Now, this is no baloney. This is when I was 13, 14, and 15. So it was back during that time that I was conceiving myself as maybe, boy, as good a hitter as there was. And then, of course, I got a little bit more heavily involved in my thinking and said, boom, best hitter ever lived. And so I think all of that is kind of silly as you look back, but it happened and it had quite an effect on me. And sometimes I wonder if it didn't have a good effect because I was mad at the world and mad at everybody. And I'd go to the plate more determined than my average was hanging up at 410, 12, 15. And that started to get a little notoriety. And of course, a lot of guys get into these streaks and nobody takes notice till maybe the last 3 weeks. Now, you know, this guy's got a chance. And so that's when I started to feel a little bit of pressure on this. Talking about what I had to do, worried about whether or not I could do it. Hopefully I was going to be able to do it. And talking over the pitchers I was going to have to face the next day. Probably so tired going into the park that I was relaxed.